Hello, my name is Tom, and I want to talk about eating disorders or food addiction. From my point of view, food addiction has to do something with get blackmailed or manipulated with food. If you're a good girl or good boy, then you become candy or ice or whatever to manipulate children to comply or obey orders from the parents. And when the sex drive, the puberty starts, then everything what people had suppressed or learned in the past is an amplifier with lust. Maybe in the childhood, girls or boys got shamed and blamed for being emotional or sexual being. You don't have to do this or whatever, and then in the puberty all this dysfunction come forwards, and you have to suppress your sex drive, that you're horny or feel lust, passion. You have to suppress it with food, with candies, sugar, even with chips or flips or whatever. People like gummy bears. And the underlying emotions under this addiction can be frustration, envy, jealousy of other people. Other people can do what they want and I'm not. I have to suppress my verbal communication with stuffing myself something down because I could not speak up in my childhood because I was always forced down to shut up. And maybe you find yourself in this type of people who are eating. And I guess the most people who are not liking their weight, they're lying to themselves, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine with this, and then they're eating more and more and more. Or maybe there's some jealousy about food, that other people got something what they want and you're not. Maybe there's some food jealousy, whatever the reason is, that you could not, or people could not have candy or some sweets what they want. They have to wait and be patient. And yes, of course, maybe for all this tension, then children stuff it down, And well, maybe if they then adults, they don't like their weight, of course. And then there's more frustration and anger and resentment, jealousy, envy, and even, I guess, being lazy, sitting the whole time in front of the TV or whatever, and watching some series on the TV screen or movies. You have to understand that everybody on this planet justifies their own addiction. It's the alcohol, nicotine, whatever addiction you have, caffeine, to push yourself, But that's not everything, You have to understand that the food industry uses all sorts of supplements or some ingredients to make people addicted, especially for these gummy bears, especially this glutamate that suppresses the feeling that you have enough of this food, the belly is full. But and you can eat and eat and eat, and then you have stomach pain because your body cannot handle it anymore. It can be addiction too, and it can be caused from food. I guess McDonald's had this stuff inside their burgers or the patties. But people can eat even from frustration in relationships, because maybe people are in toxic relationships, and they are even in toxic relationships with themselves, to accept everything what other people do with them. So you have a little bit a hope of become happiness in life, and always hoping other people would fulfill our needs, And people don't go after their own dreams. This can be making eating disorder too, or sitting in front of the screen, This is a huge thing for people, because do you get so much information from this internet or social media or TVs and all sorts of emotions that maybe the body shuts down, and you saturated, so to speak, and the body cannot take anything anymore, and you don't feel anything, so you think you need something to eat. And maybe people think that they should then drink caffeine or eating sugar or something like that, so they can push themselves, I mean, I guess oversaturation of emotion when you're watching the whole time TV or some series or playing computer games, and they start to unconsciously eating all the time, always sweets on the desk if you're playing computer games, to suppress the tension and frustration of always dying on the same spot or whatever. There's a lot of habits what people start when they are unconscious on the TV, on the screen, computer games, with all this entertainment stuff, all sorts of categories. So then is it good to take your power back again and say, I'm starting to choose consciously what I'm eating, not when I'm craving something. Yes, of course, there are maybe some unconscious or subconscious emotional themes what they're attached, but some things may be only habits, and a habit you can change right away in the moment. With a trauma, yes, then you have to feel it again and being conscious when it comes up, and then feel these emotions and allow these emotions. That's what you drive to suppress it with some food. Yes, and sit down and release this reactive state that you have to, I have to go to the refrigerator. But you can change everything what you want if you have the will and the commitment. I mean, it's your life. Some people go to the gym and eat healthy. But yes, there's always this illusion of being perfect. There's nothing that's perfect, it's perfect as it is. It's only made from society and the media. And of course, fear of judgment from others too, It's like frustration people don't like you or people reject you. No, frustration, and then eating again, And another thing is that people eat too much sugar, too much sweet stuff. And people don't need this extreme sugar. It gives people maybe 15 minutes energy, and then you need to eat more sugar, because the body burns this energy so fast. And of course, people get fat with this. If you're the whole time eating sugar, the rest of this energy, the sugar substance, has to go somewhere. Okay, you can understand that people are always on the edge, always giving 100%, and people are too overstimulated, and then they shut down. And of course, then you have to push yourself again with caffeine or sugar. People stop resting and sit down and calm down. It's addiction to always push themselves to the limit or over the limit. Some people eat more than their body needs for the day. The illusion of being always perfect and compare yourself with others. You only can fail with comparing yourself with others, because there will be always more rich people, more healthy people, more attractive people, more successful people, and photo faked people on the internet, on the screen, in the TV, and in the newspapers. And this eating disorder goes in the opposite way, too. When people don't eat much because they have to be perfect, like these models on the catwalk. They totally slim models, they have they like bones and skin. And often it's like unconscious what people eat and suppressing their emotions and feelings with food. And people are unconscious about their habits because they live in apathy. And if you understand how much shit is in this processed food and this 5-minute meals, whatever, that you heat up in the microwave. I mean, if you think this stuff is healthy, then you have to really think about it. Yes, of course, it has to do with something with this rushing life, this speed life, what we have today. That everything has to be done yesterday and be perfect. Because we have to achieve something. We have only this short period of time where we are on the planet and sleeping and all this pressure that we cannot relax anymore. And people don't give themselves time to enjoy the meal or give themselves time for the meals of the day. And it's called not for a reason food industry, because it is an industry. There's no love at all attached with this. There are all sorts of chemicals in it and supplements to push further the expiry date. If I remember when my grandmother cooked or my mother cooked, it was delicious. And now this food from the food industry, it's like, where's the taste in it? Some things are too sweet and too salty. I guess it's exposing to overstimulation, so you don't ask questions anymore. But you have to understand, there's a lot of gaslighting too, lying from the advertisement of some foods, and people believe everything what the TV or some advertising say. And if you constantly bombarded subconsciously with this advertising on TV shows or whatever, on the streets, then you maybe believe it, you know. In my childhood, we in Germany had this advertising for toothpaste, and this advertising said it tastes like bubblegum, and I believed this, and I eat this stuff until I had to puke. And children, and of course then later adults, can believe all sorts of shit if they don't question it again. So that's what I have for eating disorders at the moment. So thank you for listening, and bye.